Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So it is December 23rd. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve and I'm so excited for it. But the last few days I've been scrambling because I realized, oh my gosh, 2024 is coming to an end. So I already filmed my 2024 wrap up that also went over my 2025 goals. And I will admit at the very end of the video, I was in the middle of filming and I'm like, oh, I don't have my goals set. So I stopped the video, wrote my goals real quick, and then filmed talking about my goals. But as I was thinking about it, I had watched a couple of YouTube videos of people gamifying their 2025 goals, and I got really motivated, and that's what I tried to do last year, but I did it on my own without a good system and I forgot all about it. And in 2024 I didn't really do anything and didn't really keep up with the gamifying system. So for those of you who don't know, gamifying your goals is basically where you make a game out of it, and it can work any other way that you want that works for you. But typically what I have seen is people make it similar to D&D because that's the easiest. So essentially, like, you do tasks and tasks award you XP like a video game, and it'll level you up or your character up, and it's all fictional, but it kind of gives you a little bit more motivation, and you can do this in multiple ways. And when you gamify your system, I want to be clear, I'm going to go over the way that I did it and the system that I'm using for myself, but it's very much catered to you and what will work for you, and how you can handle it. And I also want to be clear too, me realizing that I didn't do much for 2024 made me realize that I need to be more easier on myself. And so I encourage you to set goals that, one, you feel like you can achieve reasonably given your life. Like if you have kids or you're working a full-time job and authoring is just a part-time thing. If there are other priorities for you this year, if you don't have many finances, then, those different things that are going on in your life will determine what kind of goals that you have. If you have a lot of kids, or if you're working full-time and authoring is just a part-time thing, you may not be able to set a lot of reasonable goals, and writing a single book may not be doable, or publishing a single book may not be doable. So set smaller goals to help you. If you don't have a lot of finances, then setting up a lot of financial goals or things that are going to be expensive may be unrealistic. So just cater to yourself and what you know you can handle and what you think you can handle, and don't overdo it. Don't push too much on yourself, because that's what I did for 2024. I was too ambitious, and being ambitious is not a bad thing. Pushing too much on yourself is not a bad thing, but it can lead to disappointment, guilt, and burnout. And the point of this is to be fun. So that's basically just my little note there. Just go easy on yourself. And this isn't meant to make you feel guilty for not doing things. It's to reward you for the things that you do. So I'm being really easy on myself, but without further ado, let's get into my 2025 gamified goal system. So first of all, a real quick recap of my goals this year. They're divided into different parts. So I have writing goals, reading goals, editing books, publishing goals, personal goals, and then health and fitness. Those are the 6 categories. And so a lot of my writing goals I have are like outlining a book or writing it. And if I can't write it and don't have the time, I at least want to get it outlined. And my thing is, I have a lot of books that I've started, either the first book or the second book in like a 3-book saga or a series that I haven't finished. And so I want to get some of those done so that I can publish those sagas. The main one that I want to do is I want to finish Flood, because I started that this year, didn't finish it, and that's the 4th book in the Calamity's Hope series. And the second focus I want to do is the 3rd Mech Wars book, because it's my first sci-fi romance and I want to publish that series. So those are my 2 main ones. I also really want to fix this timeline issue I'm having with this book. It's called Mystical Companions, and it's set in my Mythreach Legends universe, and there's multiple series in that universe. But the problem is all of those series hinge on that first book, and I'm having timeline issues, so I have to get that fixed in order to be able to release all these other series. So those are my 3 focuses, but I have other ones. I have 12 projects that I would like to work on. So reading goals, 24 books, 2 books a month. That's and I want to knock down as many as I can for my TBR list. Editing goals, I have a list. Main priority is Survivor. I want to get it edited and published next year because it's late. It was supposed to be the fall of 2024. And then Remnant, and then I need to get the pre-edits for Warrior done and send that to my editor. But I want to focus on editing other books too, because I have a lot of like standalone books and, like I said, other books and other series that I just am leaving alone, and I've over-focused on the Valiant series, which is not a bad thing, but I just need to give attention to these other books. So I need to get some of those done. Publishing goals, Rebels, doing a Kickstarter for it, Survivor, Flood if I can get it done, and then I want to publish at least one, if not more, standalone books, and I want to utilize Kickstarter for the special edition hardbacks for the Valiant series. Personal goals, I want to keep up my Duolingo streak. I'm learning Japanese on there. I want to keep up my reading streak. I've been keeping it going. I've been reading once every day since October. Want to keep that going for the whole year next year. YouTube, I did 3 videos a week in 2024. That may be too much. I'm going to cut it down to 1, at least 1 if I can, 2 or 3 if possible, but not feel guilty if I have to just do 1 a week. Social media as frequently as I can, not every day. That's too much to expect, but just as frequently as can. Health and fitness, I want to get healthier, walk more. I have to get serious about this. So that's just a quick rundown. If you want to hear the whole thing, I have my 2024 wrap up and 2025 video here. It'll probably be at the end as well. And yeah, if you want to see, I'll have my 2024 when I first set all those goals when I don't know what I was thinking. Watch the video to find out. I'll have that here as a card. So here's my gamifying system. And I'm going to show you guys here. So the XP that I need, so I'm making myself as a character in like this fictional fantasy world. So the XP that I need in order to level up my character is 70. Each level up, I can add like an outfit, accessory. Like I made myself in the chapter story app because that's the only thing I have to actually make a visual, but that's kind of a thing. Every time I level up a skill, so the categories that I told you about, writing, reading, editing, publishing, personal, health and fitness, and then extras, all of those are my skills, and I can level up my skills and my character both. So like I may be a level 2 character, but my writing may still only be a level 1, just as an example. Every time I level up a skill, I'm not sure about the quest thing. Those are just my early brainstorming things. Let me pull up the other one. So when I level up, I have different abilities I can activate when I get to a certain level, like at writing level 3. I can do this. Use a speech to text app to draft ideas or dialogue faster. Plot summoner activated at writing level 5. Use a plot generator to help outlines. Visual crafter unlocked at level 7. Use free online tools like Art Breeder or character generators to visually create characters. I act like Lexica. It's an AI art thing, but I do it for fun and it really helps my brainstorming process. So that would be a reward for me, and that's why I unlock that when I get to writing level 7. And then with each of these, except for reading, because I can get higher in reading really easily, I unlock the reward for each of these at level 10, except for reading, which is level 12. And I rewarded myself with each one. Like for writing, level 10, I can have a night out of my choice, whether that's a movie night or we actually just stay in and watch a movie, or whether we actually go to the movies or just have a dinner, just a night out of my choice when I get to there. And then I unlock, and then after level 10, rewards happen every 10 levels after that. Although I doubt I'm going to get that far. But so here's the thing that I really needed to figure out. So writing, these are the tasks I can do. Ignore the max XP. I was doing something different with that, so we're just going to focus on the main XP. So if I outline a book, I earn 10 XP. If I write a book from my goal list, which we've already talked about here, that's at the bottom here. So if I write a book that's listed here, that earns me 40 XP for finishing one. If I write a book that's not on the list, that's 25 XP. If I write once a day, keep up with my daily word count, which typically is 1,000 words, I'll get 1 XP just for doing it daily. If I write 1,000 words, it's 2 XP. So say I wrote once a day and I wrote over 1,000 words, that automatically gets me 3 XP. So I can earn 3 XP a day just for doing that alone. If I write I post on the chapters app, they have a specific script that you have to do. So if I want to write a story, like write one of my stories that are already written and rewrite it into the chapters app, I have to write the script, which is pretty tedious. So if I do that, it's 3 XP for 1,000 words. So it's just a little more than writing 1,000 words regularly because the script is tedious. And then if I brainstorm or plan, because I'm going to be outlining a lot of books, it's a half a point to a full point of XP, depending on like how long I was brainstorming. Because if I brainstorm for like 10 minutes, that's not worth much. But if I brainstorm for like 3 hours, then that should earn more. So, the XP needed for me to level up in writing is 100 XP. So in order for me to get to writer level 2, I have to get at least 100 XP. So if you could do the math, if I write at least 1,000 words every day, I can get 3 XP a day. You can do that 100 divided by 3. That's how many days it'll take me to level up if I only do that alone without finishing a book or doing any of this other stuff. Reading. All right, if I read for a night, like just my daily streak, it's 5 XP. If I finish reading a book, it's 10. I may actually change reading for the night, because reading for the night and keeping up my reading streak is actually funner and less tedious than writing a day, and that's only 1, so I may knock that down to 1 XP, because that seems a little too much. So as you go through your system, you can change these and cater them and adjust them to yourself, because it's whatever you want. Easy math, like I don't do math, so I made it easy for myself to keep track of. So yeah, it should be easy and fun, not tedious. So cater these to yourself and what you think, and you can change and adjust things as you go. And like I said, like I saw with this one, reading for the night, like 5 XP was a lot when writing is a lot more hard, and that only earned me 2 XP. So you can see the adjustment made sense. You can do the same thing with yours. Anyways, finish reading a book is 10 XP, and then reading streak. If I get my reading streak, like if I read every day for the whole year, I'll get an extra 365 XP, which would be 1 a day. That's just extra bonus points if I keep up my reading streak and read every day for 2025. So the XP I need to level up in reading is 20 XP, which may not be even, but it's okay. So editing. If I edit a chapter or a section in a night, that's 5 XP, because for me, to motivate me is that I'm making the thing that I find the most hard and difficult to do, and the most tedious that I haven't been wanting to do and I've been putting off, which is editing all of these books that I've written. I'm giving myself more points and more rewards for that to incentivize myself further. And you can do the same thing. Maybe you love editing, but you find writing harder, or you love both of those and you hate reading, or you love all of that, but you don't want to work out, or whatever personal goals you have in your life. Maybe you're an an artist or something. So give yourself more points and more rewards and more incentives to do the things that you find hard to do. That way you'll hopefully end up doing them. So anyways, editing a chapter, section a night is 5 XP, which if you notice, if you compare that to reading for the night or writing for the night, it's worth way more. So editing, big incentive to do that. That actually makes perfect sense. Finishing editing a book is 60 XP if I finish editing a book. And that's from the list. So again, the list I have down here of the books that I really want to get edited, which are all of these. And then Indie Under standalone book that doesn't connect. That's a little vague, but I know, like, my head knows what I'm talking about. And also Myth Reach Legends, I need to add that on here. But so the Myth Reach Legends is also on this list, but let me type that up. We're going to type that up because I really want to work on those. So I added that to the list. Oops, sorry. So I added that to the list as well. So as I said, editing a book that's not on the list is 3 XP, so a little bit less, so more incentive to do from the list. I don't know what that would be considered, considering most of my standalone ones, but whatever. Finish editing a book not on the list is 25 compared to 60. And then sometimes I like reading my books for fun, and when I do that, I'll do a light proofread. So proofreading a book is 20 XP. Because if I proofread the entire book, so again, less than editing a book that's not on the list, and definitely less than editing a book that is on the list. If I format a chapter or a section in a night, that's 5 XP, so it's the same as editing. So if I edit or format an entire section every night, 5 XP. If I format a whole book, it's 20, which is the same as proofreading. And to me, sorry, I didn't know it blurred. And to me, proofreading and formatting would be the same amount of tediousness, so 20 XP for both of those is fair. And then the XP needed to level up in editing is 120. So it takes more to level up, which should incentivize me to do more of this to level up in editing. Publishing a book is 40 XP Kickstarter's 50 because it's more work than just launching it straight away. Publishing a chapter of a book to the chapter story app is 10 because that's not hard. It's still tedious, but it's not that hard, not as hard as that stuff. Marketing a book is 5 XP per social post or marketing tactic, depending on, I'm really bad about this, so that's why I did an extra that. So hey, you know, maybe I didn't edit in a night, but I still want 5 XP. I could just make a social media post marketing my books. If I do beta readers if I get beta readers or go through my beta readers comments, same with ARC readers, it's 10 XP for both of those. I'm really bad about both of those. And the XP I need to level up in the publishing category is 40 XP. So if I published a book, I'll level up automatically. And that's kind of why I set up the system that I did, because it's like in some categories like that, I just needed to publish in order to level up. So personal, Duolingo Daily is 1 XP because it's not hard. Fable Streak, 5 XP. We're going to change that to 1 because that's reading every day. And so that would be the same as reading it, just logging it would be the same thing. Posting on social media is 5, which is the same as this social media post. Doesn't necessarily have to be about my books, but as long as I post on social media. Finish daily, same thing, not hard, 1 XP. And then YouTube, since I'm doing 1, 2, or 3 videos per week, I did change the XP level. So at the end of the week, if I did 1, 2, or 3 videos, if I did 1 video that week, it's 10, 2 is 15, 3 is 20. So again, incentivizing me to do 3 per week because that will earn me the most. And the XP I need to level up in personal is 104. Health and fitness, cut down portions is 35, cut down carbs is 35. I'm really bad about that. And that's per week, and that's for a streak. And then carbs, so it's 35 XP per carb. So if I cut out bread, but not potatoes or pasta, it would only be 35. But say I cut out bread, pasta, and potatoes, that would be 35 per carb. So that's 35 times 3. Hope that makes sense. Walking on the treadmill or aside, 70 XP in a week if I walked every single day. And that's for a reasonable amount of time, not like, oh, I walked for a minute every day. Working out at the gym, if we manage to get a gym membership, that's 100 XP per week. And then the XP needed to level up in health and fitness is 240. So extras, writing challenges and reading challenges are both 15 XP per challenge when I complete them. Join anthologies because I'm actually falling behind and haven't joined any for a while. And there's one coming up in January I like to join. That's 20 XP per anthology. And then the XP needed to level up in extras is 15 XP. So again, these are just mine and stuff, but you can do your own. So how am I going to keep track of all this? Well, I have sort of an idea for this. Sorry about the bad lighting. Hold on. Okay, so it's really blue, but I had an idea for this. So I got in Canva and I designed a notebook and a journal. I've actually designed a few before and they're all on my website. I'll have a link in the description below to the ebooks. I had Lulu set up where they could actually print like the paper hardback copies of some of my notebooks and ship them to you guys. But for some reason Lulu dropped that. And so now I only have the ebooks instead of the paperbacks and like hardback, like the notebook version of all of these journals. But the point is I've designed journals before. So I designed one catered specifically to like a 2025 journal, but it's designed for writers to be able to log their stuff. So this includes logging your word count, your and specifically gamifying your goals. So it's not just for writing and logging your stuff, because I will have more notebooks. By the time this video is out, I will have more designed. And again, these are links to the PDFs because I can't figure out how to get the hard, like the paperback version. But once you get the PDF, you can print it off yourself. But I did design one, so let's check it out. So 2025 gamification goal tracker and planner. So again, this is catered specifically to the gamification system. So it's a 2025 calendar. It actually is 2025. So it is and can work as a regular calendar, just with a bunch of extra pages. So we start off with a vision board, kind of asking yourself questions and what you envision for the year. Vision board with different categories and stuff that you can tape or paste things onto. Your goals tracker, you can track your goals throughout the year, however you want to utilize that page. And I left all of these blank, so I haven't filled them in with my stuff yet, although I could do that, I'm not going to. So this is your character profile. So this is specifically for the character that you invent for your leveling up. So I'm just going to do myself, but like give myself like a class and a mini backstory in this fictional universe. So your skills, again, for me, it's writing, editing, publishing, all the ones we've talked about. And then the level, they all all start off at level 1. And you can do a system where like if you level up, you get certain pieces of inventory, and I'm going to make that up as I go, like a quill of unbreaking, for example. The quill doesn't break. It's just little fun things to add to your little story, and at the end of the year you may decide to turn it into a little short story or something. Abilities, like I said, for me, I gave myself abilities that would make sense to help me out later, like Voice of the Ancients. I unlock it at editing level 5, so I can either play music in the background unless that distracts me while I'm editing, and if that does, then I can use a software to like read the book to me to help me out. Extra Hands unlocked at level 7, which is where I will allow myself to get Grammarly or Per Writing Aid to add an extra level of editing to help me. And then reward for each one. Reading, Book Teleporter, I can do an extra free swap in the TBR list challenge or once per challenge. So usually for the book challenges, you stick with the books that you chose, but in this case, I will allow myself to swap out one book in a challenge for free. And then if I can, at level 10, I unlock did not finish a book. So I allow myself to do not finish a book. Typically, I try not to do that. So those are just examples of different quote abilities that you can have. So you can kind of basically make up anything that you think will be a nice reward to give yourself for reaching those levels that can help you out in that category, is how I specified that. So abilities, attributes, I forgot what those are. And then if you send your character on quests, so your attributes were, I think I'm doing away with that on mine, but I left it in there because it is a D&D thing, and I think they call it something differently. But like, it's like creativity, in typical D&D, it's like charisma, strength, wisdom, that sort of thing. And in D&D, they would do checks on that. If you come across anything in the storyline, like you need to talk to this person, do you successfully talk to that person or do you not? The DM, Dungeon Master would have you roll for charisma to do a charisma check. And depending on the dice roll, you would add whatever your charisma level is. You would add that number to your dice roll. And then if it's over a certain number, typically 10 or 12, if you roll higher than a 10 or 12, you would successfully charismatically talk to the person. But that doesn't make sense with this particular game, so I just left it in there, but I'm probably not going to use that, and I may not do any quests either, just for fun, but we'll see. I left that in there just in case. So January 2025, so here's where things get really fun. So each month has a skill tracker for the whole month, so this is enough weeks for the month, and you can put your habit here and then track it throughout the week, and every week, and you have multiple ones as well. So for each, because that's for every week, so like writing, editing, publishing, etc. So that's the exciting thing, and this is where I'm going to keep track of my XP potentially. So we also have a project tracker for every month. So that month that you're doing something, writing, editing, or reading, you can color it in or put a sticker or whatever you feel like doing to keep track of your progress as you go through. And for writing, if it's longer than because this is, I think it's 30 or 31 of these on each of these. So if my book is longer than 31 chapters, I may add a little more shapes or something, but it's catered to what you want. So every month also has another character profile, because as you go through the month, January, it'll be the same as the first one, but say we get to March, you will level up your character, and so you'll get, your skills will level up, and that'll unlock more abilities for you to learn to use, and also your character will have more inventory, that sort of thing, so it will upgrade every month. So every month also has a character profile to add to it, and then every week, at the beginning of every week, so this is the first week in January, has a planner. So your goal for the week, your main tasks, your to-do list for the week, the hours that you want to work or will work the week, and then your XP. Now you can do this at the beginning of the week, what your plan is, or at the end of the week, what you actually did. That's up to you how you utilize this. And then every week also has a weekly planner like this, which this is what I'm going to use to keep track of my XP for the whole week. So my total weekly XP at the end of every week, so that way I can tally everything up for the end of the year. Now, every week also has 5 of these, or not 5, every week also has enough of these for every single day. So it's like, January 1st will start off on whatever day that was and go from there. So that'll be the first day. So each, well, that's why there is a lot of pages in this journal, because every day, some of these get messed up, but every one of these will have a daily log for you to do for every single day. And then the next week begins, and then same thing. And then that's the second week in January. So we're at the 3rd week in January and the 4th week in January, and I did 5 weeks for every month except for there was 2 that had 6 weeks, so there should be enough daily logs, but if not, I'm sure you can find extra space to log things if you need to. So that's the final week in January, and then we start February. And then every month again has the skill tracker, the project tracker, the character profile to update, okay, what level is my character this month, weekly planner, and then weekly planner, and then it starts all over again. And that's pretty much the rest of the journal. So I will have a link to where you can buy the PDF to this in the description below. And yeah, for you guys to get this PDF yourself, and you can edit the PDF if you want online, if you can know how to do that, or print it off yourself if you can. And I'm sorry that I haven't gotten Lulu. I actually did get this in Lulu. The printing cost for this with the color involved was $124. And I like the colors. So the black and white version was $34. And so I can't justify, because that's the printing cost. For average, like to print Hunter, it's like $4 to $5. So that means that like Amazon would take, like the printing cost comes out of my side. So if it's $34 just to print the book, I would have to sell it higher in order to cover that cost coming out of my pocket and the royalties they're going to take out. And this is Lulu. It is ridiculously high priced. So if you guys really want this journal in paperback form, let me know in the comments below and I will get it set up and let you guys know as soon as I have it. I don't know how I'm going to utilize this, but I'm actually tempted to just print it off with printing ink and waste the ink because I want the colors, and that would ultimately be cheaper. But also you could do, you know, editing the PDF yourself or printing it off yourself. There's lots of different ways to do that. So I will, again, have a link to the PDF description below. You can buy it on my website if you're interested in that. If you want to gamify your goals in 2025, it's just a really fun way to keep track of that. And I don't know if I'm going to keep up with this, and I don't know if this is going to make it fun. And if I have any other ways to add to this to make it fun, I'm still kind of tweaking the character aspect a little bit. And I may do a mini story or campaign at the end of the year based on what I actually achieved. And like, you know, in January, one of my plans, my hope is to start editing Survivor. So say I edit Survivor, I'll make up a fun little quest that kind of goes along with that, and then at the end of the year I'll kind of write about my character. At the beginning of the year she went on this quest, and you know, that kind of stuff, to make it kind of fun. But yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to keep up with it, but it's a fun little way to keep up with your goals. And again, for me, I just need to like this year in 2024, I completely just forgot about my goals and just did my own thing. And it was like at the end of the year that I'm like, oh wait, I haven't gotten anything done. So I needed some constant reminder. So that's one of the things that I'm going to do this year. So let me know in the comments below what you think of all of this. It took me a long time to come up with all this. I've been scrambling for like multiple like days. I think it's been like 3 or 4 days. If you count watching the videos that inspired this, it's like 5 days. So I spent the last week really figuring this out and nailing down my particular system. And you can do whatever you want, whatever works for you, and cater it to your needs. That's what this is for. That's why in the journal I tried to put everything I could think of that you may need in there, so you can utilize however many pages, whatever pages you want, in whatever way that you want. And you can use the pages instead of the daily log. You can use that to keep track of word count and chapter count instead of XP count, and I may do the same thing. So it's still a great way to keep track of your word count and your progress, and track your progress for writers out there. And for readers, if you want to keep track of your reading progress and like what you read through the year, you can keep track, like you can keep track of the book names or stuff. So, but yeah, that's everything. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like this video and subscribe for more writing and reading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and hit the notification bell so you never miss one of my episodes. And in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video gamifying my 2025 goals, then check out my 2024 wrap-up where I go over all the details of what I achieved and what I didn't achieve. I epically failed at my goals, but the video will go over why I still feel proud anyway, so check that out. You don't want to miss it, especially if you're feeling down on yourself this year. Maybe you achieved less than you thought you did. Maybe something in there can encourage you. So check that out. You don't want to miss it. And I'll see you guys next time.